Okay, so I've looked back through this trailer a million times, which I'm pretty sure every single one of you has done anyway, but there are some things that just capture my imagination and I can't stop thinking about the possibilities. These banished camps and bases, and the UNSC ones as well, look awesome, and I think there's a lot that can be done and will be done, especially in the world of co-op in Halo Infinite. But I think my main questions are, how will these tie into the main story narratives? Will we encounter lots of characters and side missions? Because I think Halo has a bit of a character problem at the moment, where there's too many characters in the deep lore, so they kind of need to sideline a lot, but you don't want to do that to every character. And will these bases be persistent, or will you have to reset them after a certain amount of time? Let's break it all down.
Ultimate Halo.
It feels good to watch Halo Infinite content, all these creators doing their thing.
Yes, but you're not subscribed to Ultimate Halo, so it's time to change your life.
Well, hold on a minute. I am subscribed though. Well, if you're not already, subscribe to Ultimate Halo for more Halo Infinite content, or else. But seriously, we're nearly 100k, so that would help a lot. Okay, so there's definitely a lot to unpack here, and the first thing I want to point out is the UNSC base, because there are a few details I think we should go over. So first of all, it looks like there are weapon racks. Maybe it's a customization area, maybe it's something you can choose a weapon or get more ammo. And we do know that looking back at the previous gameplay trailers, there are some upgrade options in the campaign, and what sort of detail and depth they go into is yet to be seen, but I'm interested to see if these have anything to do with it. Over to the left here, we have something that looks like a terminal. I'm all for terminals, especially video ones. I think they're more accessible. I think it helps more people get into the background lore behind the games rather than scrolling through a bunch of text. And to be honest with you, this is almost like if Halo Wars and Halo CE had a baby, kind of matching the base that Halo Wars has always had, but doing it in a first-person game. And I think that's nothing but an awesome thing. So it does make me think, I imagine we'll be spending a lot of time at these bases, because these will be the places you can upgrade, refresh, sort of recoup your energy going into the next battle. And looking at some of the bases we're going to go over in a second, you probably do need that bit of breathing time. So we're going to go over this banished camp first before we go over the bigger stuff. Now it looks like you're able to go out and save Marines, and hopefully, what I'm hoping that will happen is you'll be able to get characters that are not in the mainline side of the lore and have interactions with them. So for example, it could be Spartan Palmer, a member of Fireteam Osiris, and we can see what they're up to on the ring, how they've been captured, and hopefully save them. I think that's a really interesting way to go into Halo's outer characters on the fringe, because at the end of the day, like I said, Halo Infinite has got a bit of a character problem. It's going to have to potentially drop quite a lot of characters from the previous games, especially from Halo 5, if it wants to keep a really focused Master Chief story. So this, in allowing us to do side missions, is probably a good sort of compromise. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but at the same time it's also better than just leaving them to a book, which maybe not everybody's going to read or watch YouTube videos about. However, one thing I am quite curious to know more about are these flares. Are they indicating this is a main mission, or is every banished camp going to do this? And I kind of like to see how that plays out, but for now we're unsure. One of the best bits about this, I think, is how vertical the game is, and I said this in my reaction video, just how vertical the environment was, but this means you can pretty much encounter most bases or camps in any way you like, and 343 have alluded to this when they showed the concept art for this banished tower here. I mean, do you want to go heads on with a Banshee in the sky? Do you want to go on the ground? Apparently there are underground tunnels, so do you want to get underneath and infiltrate it from there? That is just like mind-blowing. Halo's not really had that kind of depth of campaign gameplay ever, and whilst some games have tried to do it to some degree, this is just completely on a brand new level. But the same goes for this base down here. We don't really see it too well because it's far off in the distance, but there is definitely some kind of more traditional type of fort in the background. Now, of course, same thing goes underground, in the sky, on the floor itself. Who knows how we want to go about it, but what rewards are going to be there if we do get them. But what I want to know is, are these bases going to be persistent? So let's say, for example, if I capture a base and that turns into a UNSC base, kind of like how Far Cry works, is it going to keep that way? Or are they going to reset straight away, or potentially over time, or over seasons? That's one thing I'd really like 343 to sort of clarify as soon as they can when they start showing more about the open world, because I think that's going to be a really fun part of the campaign, especially in co-op when you're playing with your friends, just going out and taking over banished encampments. And especially when you look at this UNSC base over here, yes, of course, everything in the foreground looks very UNSC, but behind them, it looks like there is a lot of banished equipment that's left over, so potentially at one point, maybe this was a banished base, and maybe there's some evolution to the world that we're seeing. And then just lastly, how do these play into the main storyline? Are we going to have to go to these places to progress the story? Or are these just kind of like side things off on the side? Honestly, who knows? But I'm so excited to play this with my friends and just go out and kick some banished backside. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think is going to happen with these? Do you think they're going to be side missions? How do you think they're going to play into the main narrative? Once again, my name is Jack Fletcher, and I will see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.